Welcome to this new tutorial. Today is a fun one. We're gonna create a few more abilities and gameplay effect and fix a bug related to the collision. If you've ever tried to replicate any collision in Unreal, you might have faced this weird bug, and we'll learn how to fix it. But first, I want to go to my abilities. I'll go to Stagger, and let's set these replication policies in the C++ by default. I've never went over them, I believe. So now is a good time to do so that we don't have to set them every time we create a new ability. We put that aside here. Alright. So in the gameplay ability C++ file, I'm gonna go to the constructor and I'm gonna set them here. So the first one is replication policy, which is in gameplay replication policy. I'm gonna set it to do not replicate. Now, why did I do that? Is according to Epic's game, in the documentation, they say that this should be set to do not replicate, as it's not needed for replication of an ability. So that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna set that to not replicate. Now the next one is instancing policy. Let's find instancing policy. Gameplay ability. Where is it? Instancing. Oh, fine. Gameplay ability instance. Here you go. Now I'm gonna set this one to instance per actor. Why? It just means that every actor that uses this ability will create their own instance of this ability and can reuse it every time this ability is used, which means that we can store information on the ability itself, and this information can be reused. So that's why we're gonna set this to per actor. Now you do have per execution, which just means that every time the ability is executed, it's gonna create a new instance of it, which is gonna be a fresh one with no data on it or anything like that. So that's why we don't want to use it really. And there's non-instance, which just uses the default class instead, and that's not ideal for replication. So we're gonna use the one that says instance per actor. All right, and the third one is server respect. What is it? Oh, it's a boolean. So B server respect remote ability cancellation. This one we're gonna leave it on false, as we don't want the client to be able to cancel an ability, as they might cheat and try to cancel abilities to before, I don't know, to prevent cooldown or anything like that. So yeah, this is gonna be set to false. Now retrigger instanced ability. That one is different per ability. Like for example, this stagger ability that we have, if we get hit and then it starts playing the animation and then we get hit again, I do want to start the animation over again. So for this one specifically, yes, I would want this to be retrigger instance ability, but not necessarily all abilities should have this same behavior. So here it's up to you and up to your ability on what you want to set this to. I'm gonna leave it to false by default and then set it when I need it. Retrigger, what is it? Retrigger. Oh, here we go. False. The next one is net execution policy. Alright. So this one is gameplay ability net execution policy. And we have what, 4 options here. Local only, which you should only use if you're making a single player game. Local predicted, which is what we want to use, as it allows us to first run the ability on the client, then the server is going to do the same, which means that there's no lag in our input as we immediately trigger the ability on the client. Now, if there's any discrepancies between the client and the server, after the server has executed the ability, it's gonna send the information back to the client and make any correction needed. So this is what we want to use. There's server initiated, which you don't want to use because then you won't be able to trigger anything from your client. You won't be able to use the ability. We should reserve this for maybe some kind of buff or anything like that. That should happen only on the server. And there's server only, which runs only on the server. So we don't want to use these. We want to use local predicted. And then lastly is net security policy. It's going to be gameplay net security policy. Now, here also we have 4 options. The one we are going to use is client or server. Why? What does this do? Now, it allows for the client to trigger and cancel an ability, but the way it does it here is that the client first requests the server to cancel the ability, and then the server can confirm or deny the cancellation of the ability, for example. So this is what we want to use. This server only, which, well, only the server has control over both the execution and termination of an ability, which we don't want to use, as we do want to be able to activate ability from our client, of course. Server only execution, again, if we use that, we won't be able to use any ability on the client. And server termination only, well, this one, you depending on what your game is, depending on what your ability does, you might want to use this. So with this one, you still are able to use your ability from the client, but you can't cancel them from the client. Only the server will do it. So the server will have to first execute the ability fully before terminating it. Anyway, we're going to be using client or server. Alright, now all of this is set. Oh, actually, before compiling this, I do want to show you something else that I want to change. Is if we go to our ability, for example, the tackle here, and I select this. Let me open this. So currently, if we don't have anything set here in effect class, we don't get to create the collision actor at all. The collision actor doesn't get created, and any of our other other effect that we have on the actor that we added here. For example, here we have the move actor, which just bumps the actor for like 25 units here. This, you won't be able to use this if there's nothing in effect class, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna change this in the C++ so that even if we don't have any effect class here, we still create the collision actor and run whatever logic we have here. All right, let's take care of that. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to I believe it's in our animation notify. Here it is. Here's when we are checking if we do have any effect before spawning the collision actor. So I'm just gonna cut this from here, remove this, and paste this back here. Now we're not checking for that anymore. Now I can compile all of this. Alright, now we're back in. Next, what I want to do is to replace my current character mesh. So when I first started this tutorial, I did want to show you guys how to add a weapon, which we did. We added a weapon to our character. But the free asset that I got from the marketplace is a little bit janky. I don't want to use it. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. And also, the system that we created doesn't even require a weapon to work. you can just attach the collision actor to any socket, right? So I don't even need a weapon on my character. Now this animation pack that I'm using comes with a character mesh. Let me open this here. There we go. This is the character mesh that I'm going to use. Now, as you can see, it already has a weapon with the character. That weapon is attached to the character mesh itself, which is cool. Looks nice. Which means that I don't even need my other weapon. So if I press play now, as you can see, looks good, but yeah, I do need to remove the other weapon now, as we're not using it. So let me do that. I'm gonna go here, find my weapon. Let's remove that. All right. Let's test that again. All right. Cool. Now that we've done all of this, now let's work on a new ability. Actually, we don't even need to create a new ability. Remember, I did create this jumping smash ability. So let's work on this first, and then we'll make a new one after. So what this looks like is, so if I press this, it does this. Currently it doesn't do anything, so let's set this up to do something. Alright. So all I have to do here is, well actually, let me reparent this. Gameplay ability. See, does that update my stuff? I didn't update it. Or did it? Instance per actor. No. Yeah, I think everything is good. Yeah, okay, all good. Yeah, so let's go to the animation. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So right about here, I'm gonna add a notify. Let's add a notify here. So let's see. And I'm gonna end it around here. Oh, true. Now that I've changed my mesh, I don't think I have my that new mesh doesn't have the sockets that I had on the other one. So I do need to make sure that I set my that I create my sockets. So I'm gonna go to the mesh. And I had a socket for the shoulder that we were using for the tackle. So let's find this one. So I'm gonna add it here. I believe I called it, what was it? Left shoulder socket. And then I need one for my weapon. So weapon, I'm gonna use hand R, add a socket here, and call it weapon R. Alright, that's done. Now I can select main weapon here, which is gonna use my weapon R socket. The shape is gonna be a box. Now, an issue that we have here is that we can't really see in this preview window what the collision shape is gonna be like, where it's gonna be attached, and all of that. So that's something we could work on, and I'm probably gonna do that in the next tutorial, where we could add the ability to visualize everything here in the preview window. But for now, I do know that the extent should be 25, 40, and 25. Now, of course, that will change depending on your weapon, the shape of your weapon and all that. And the offset, negative 30 and 65, I believe. Alright, and yeah, that should be good. I do want to create a new effect for this. I don't want to use the stagger. Actually, for this part, I'm gonna use stagger. I'm gonna push the character a distance of 200 meters. Alright, and let's scroll through this. Right about, let's see here. So I didn't never notify. Let's see. Yep, should be good. Around here, same thing. Main weapon, 25, 40, so 25, negative 30, 65. Let's just test this ability first. I'm just gonna add the stagger for now. And show debug. Is this one? Did I select show debug? Yes, all good. Nice. Let's go and test this out. So now if I hit, yep. Now, did you see that? The second hit, it missed, but my hammer did clearly go through the actor. I'm gonna go to this ability where it says rate. I'm gonna change this to 0.2. I want to show you this bug. So if I try this again, here's the collision and the second one. And here, I did hit. Now my hammer is a little bit behind the enemy, but I'm pretty sure I did hit, but nothing happened. Let's try this again. Let's do it on this side. If I stand on this side, I think it's more pronounced. Let's see. Yeah, here, I did hit and nothing happened. And I want to show you something else. Another bug is if I'm standing on this side and then I try it. Let's see. Now I hit and then nothing happened. Well, here I kind of missed, so not a good example. Let's try this again. This here, and then let's try. So, whoop, here, hit. Oh, I did hit. Well, that kind of sucks. So on this side I always hit, and on this side I don't hit. Here we go. Yeah. See. On one side I do hit, on the other side I don't hit. Now let's fix that bug. To fix it, it's actually very simple. We go to our character, you go to the detail and look for visibility. And you'll find this visibility based anim tick option. All you have to do is just set this to always tick pose and refresh bones, and that's it. Now it should be fixed. Now again, if I try, where was it? On this side wasn't working. So now if I do it, boom, works. And well, of course I didn't hit that one, but yeah, but now it's working. So maybe if I stand on this distance, let's see, boom, and boom, here we go, perfect. Now another thing is that since we're using root motion animation, as you can see, it's very hard to actually hit the enemy. If I'm too close to him, if I use it, the root motion is gonna move my character. Well, I think I'm gonna hit this one. No, I didn't. So the root motion is moving my character forward, and it's making me miss my hits. Right? Same for the tackle. If we're too close, we end up behind the character after, which is something that you may want or may not want. But personally, I don't like it. So we might work on this, on fixing this also in the next tutorial. Or, you know what? If you're watching this, you can comment down below and let me know what you want to see in the next tutorial. Because I was actually thinking of adding the attribute set in the next tutorial, where we could add damage, add attributes such as, I don't know, physical attack, magical attack, and defenses and all that. but if you want, we can still we can first finish this, keep on working on this first, and fixing these weird little things like the root motion animation and the visual in the preview window here. So that's up to you. You can let me know. Alright, anyway. I did want to add a new effect here, a new gameplay effect. So I don't want to use stagger here. Instead, I want to create a new one. Let's go to gameplay effect. I'm gonna go blueprint and type gameplay effect. GE, create a hit react. I'm gonna call this one Knockdown. Alright. The duration is gonna be infinite. Component, we need to add one grant tag to actor. We're gonna grant a tag, so I need a new tag, which is gonna be hit react dot knockdown. Alright, add this tag and use it. Remove that one. There we go, that's done. Then close this and come here. Now let's select our new gameplay effect. Knockdown. Cool. Now the second part is gonna apply the knockdown effect. Now I want an ability to trigger when the knockdown tag is added to our character. So I'm gonna copy the stagger ability and rename it to Knockdown. In it, I do need a tag on it. So it's gonna be ability Knockdown. Alright, add this tag, select it. And we need an animation for it. So let's find an animation. Let's go to assets, animation, damage. I believe is one. Yeah, I think this one. Root. Yeah, this one has root motion in it. Yep. Alright, this is what I'm gonna use. Make sure it's using root motion. Alright. I'm gonna create a new montage. So, any montage. Call it Knockdown. I'm just gonna change this to 0.1 and 0.2. Alright, and here, let's use our new montage. There we go. Cool. Now that we got a new montage, we need to go to let's do this character first. Let's do the player. So here we need to bind to the tag, right? Let's add a new one. Trigger tag. It's gonna be the hit react knockdown. So when the hit react knockdown tag is applied, so on add, we want to trigger an ability, which is gonna be our knockdown ability. No delay, and we do want to remove the gameplay effect after. So I'm just gonna remove it 1 second after. All right, let's do the same for the enemy. Oh, wrong. So here it is. This, so again, hit react ability is gonna be knockdown effect we need to remove it after 1 second. All right, now let's put that back to 1 and let's have a look. Oh, oh, I know why. I did forget to give the ability to the characters. So let's start with this guy. Ability. That should be in common actually. Where is it? Knockdown. I'm gonna remove that from here. Add it in here. Stagger. That's where it should be. And the enemy character, same thing. Find the ability. Alright, add Knockdown in here. There we go. Now that should work. Alright, let's test this out again. Let's check the log. Go boom, boom. Hey, look at that. Boom, boom. Yep, that's working. Let's check if our tag is getting added and removed. Go boom, boom. Yep. Everything is working. Fantastic. Let's make another ability, so we can have a little combo going on. So create an ability, go to blueprint, we find our C++ class, so gameplay ability, this one. This one, I do know what I want to use. So I'm gonna call it hammer push. All right. Let's go to the animation. Let's find an animation for it. So animation skill. I think it's this one. Yes, this one. Let's make sure it's using root motion. Alright, and let's create a montage. So any montage, we'll call it hammer push. Alright, done. Then change this to 0.1, 0.2, and go back to my ability. Where is it? Hammer push. Alright, so when I activate this, I want to play montage. Here's my montage and end ability. Cool. Compile and save. I'm gonna use the free here. This key. I do want to use the controller rotation, and everything else is fine. Okay, now I need to give this ability to my character. So let me go to my character, player character, ability. Yep. Let's give it the hammer push. There we go. Now it has this ability. Now if I play, boom. Okay, cool. Let's add an effect to it. So that's, where is it? My ability, hammer push. Open this. Open that. All right. Let's add stuff to it. So let's add a notify state. So I would say around, let's see, around here, it's fine. And end it around here. Alright. We're gonna be using the main weapon, so we used our, what is it, weapon R socket. Size is gonna be 25, 40, 25, negative 30, and Actually, I'm gonna leave this to 0. And you know what? I'm gonna increase the size of this to 60. Gonna see why in a sec. Now we want to add an effect. I do want to create a new effect, but first let's see if it's working. So I'm just gonna add the stagger for now and show debug. Also, let me change this to 0.3 so that we can see the debug. Alright. Okay, so now if I do this, boom, there we go. Nice, looks good. Box is pretty big, so here do. Now, let me slow this down even more actually. I want to show you something here. Let's do 0.1 maybe. I'm gonna do that. And pause. Alright, cool. Eject. So as you can see, the box isn't really positioned correctly. Now the reason being is that I actually don't have the ability to rotate the collision box, because we did make it so that we could move it around, so we can add an offset to it. We can set the size, add an offset, but I didn't add the ability to add a rotation to it, so that's something we should work on. So currently I can't really rotate it to fit the angle of the hammer correctly. So yeah, there's that. So that's for a future tutorial also. Anyway, so that's good, that's working. So now let's create an effect for it. You know what, I'm just gonna copy this, paste it, and rename it to, what is it, push back. Need to add a new one. I'm gonna call it push back. Alright. Now we have our new effect. I'm gonna go here and add the effect push back. Now when pushback is applied to our character, I want to trigger an ability. Let's create a new ability. So again, blueprint, find gameplay ability, GA. I'm gonna call it push back. Play montage. And we need a montage for the pushback. Let's go to asset, animation. In damage, there is, let's see, where is it? I think it's this one. Yes, this one. I'm gonna use this one. So, actually, let me open this first. Root motion. Alright, let's create a montage. So I'm gonna make a push back. Alright, set this to 0.1, 0.2, and then set it here. So push back, and the ability, and ability. Oh, good. Alright, yes, I do want to be able to retrigger this, and this needs to have a tag. So add a new one, ability. Alright. That's setup. And that is setup 2. Now we need to go to our character. Let's start with this guy first. And I'm gonna add a new binding here. So the new one should be pushback. Activate an ability, pushback. Remove the gameplay effect, pushback after, let's say, 1 second, doesn't matter. Same thing for the enemy. What is it? Yes, here we go. So again, push back. Here, ability, push back, and remove the effect. All right, nice. Actually, I'm gonna go to the ability, this one, and I'm gonna increase the speed of it to 2. I think it looks better like that. Let's see. Alright, let's test this out. Oh shit. Let me fix that too. So, not this one. Hammer push. Put that back to 1. Let's test it. Okay, in. Oh. Interesting. Oh, I did forget to give the ability to the characters. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's go to the enemy. Ability. Yep. Push back. Here we go. Let's see. Nice. Maybe 2. Actually, 2 might be a bit too fast. Let's do 1.5. And then now let's test this out. It works. Nice. Cool. And we can even do a little combo. Like if we push this guy, and then we can just rush, and then use this and that. Perfect. Oh, we got everything working now. Boom. You know what? Let's do ability. Where is it? Tackle. Let's push by 100. Skill, this one. This one's fine. Let's see. Now if I do this, this, then this. Hey, look at that. That looks nice. Boom, boom, boom. Oh well, I missed. But yeah, but you get the idea. You can create whatever you want. So let's change this to, what was it? Like 200. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Now, of course, to make it work, I'm having to increase the distance that the character is being pushed back, which I don't really like. So what we actually want is to be able to change the root motion dynamically. I'm gonna show you. Where is it? So let's go to ability and let's find this one. So this ability currently, let's see, if I'm standing here and then I use, well, wrong button, if I use it, it moves me a great distance, like at least, I don't know how to estimate the distance from here, but yeah, it moves us a great bit. Now what I would want to do is to be able to adjust this where it says anim root motion translation scale. Now if I change this to, let's say, 0.3 instead of 1, now you'll see that the distance that I'm gonna move is way smaller, right? So what we want is to be able to adjust this dynamically in-game while we are playing. So if there's something in front of us, we want to be able to reduce it so that we don't just end up behind the character every time. And we might work on that also. I don't know if it's in the next tutorial or not, but yeah, we should work on all of these things that I've mentioned. Yeah, I think that's it for today. See you in the next tutorial, I guess. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yep, see you in the next one.